thoughts, opinions, and general overall shade thrown on High at 9 News are those of the individual speakers and not those of High at 9 News, its audience, or its advertisers. The statements made do not constitute medical, legal, or financial advice, and for advice tailored to your specific situation, please consult with a licensed professional. Welcome to the High at 9 News Hour, where you will hear from cannabis industry experts and professionals from around the country talk about important topics while shining light on global issues and discussing cannabis as it relates to politics, regulation and reform, data and technology, science, research and medicine, family and parenting, art, celebrities and entertainment, fitness, sports, mental health and wellness, and plant-based medicines and entheogenics. Together, we are building a stronger community, fighting the stigma and creating change. With your hosts, Jason Beck and Rico Lamitte, joined by special industry expert correspondents from around the country, and daily antics brought to you by Cannabis. Coming to you live every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific Time and high noon on the East Coast. And thank you all for getting high at 9 with us. Yeah. Good morning, everybody. That's right. It is Tuesday, December 10th. And today is National Lager Day. Not to be confused with National Lager Day, because Rico is a little bit lagging today. You know what I'm saying? You with me over here, Jenny? You over there? You out there in the metaverse? All right. It is also National Dewey Decimal System, you guys, Day. Shout out to the Dewey Decimal System. I don't even think they even teach that to kids anymore in school at all whatsoever. But nonetheless, thank you all for joining us and getting high at 9 with us. It's also high noon on the East Coast. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe to us on all social media platforms. You can look up above and down below to see exactly where we live on the internet. And we are live every Monday through Friday on YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, X, Instagram, Facebook, and on our very own website at www.highat9news.com. So thank you to all of you joining us from whatever platform you are joining us from. And Jenny Beth is getting prepped for her story. She has a big one for you guys today. So this is gonna be good, you guys. I am pretty excited about this this whole story that she has for everyone today. I'm wondering, should I just go into my story, you guys? If she's not ready. All right, whatever. I'm going to go into my story so we're not wasting time today. I'm just going to roll into my story. Because you guys, as you guys know, man, oh man, the DEA judge provides a timeline for witness testimony in the marijuana rescheduling hearing, you guys. That's right. DEA Administrative Law Judge John Mulrooney has ordered witness testimony to begin in the matter of marijuana federal classification as a Schedule I controlled substance on Tuesday, January 22nd, 2025. Barring a stay in the proceedings, witness testimony will take place every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday through the week of March 3rd. I mean, that's the technical governmental week anyway, because, you know, all the congressional members travel in on Mondays and they leave out on Fridays. So that's standard protocol in DC. Anyways, witnesses representing the Drug Enforcement Administration will testify on the first day of the trial, though the agency is the designated proponent of the proposed rule to reclassify cannabis from a Schedule I to Schedule III of the Federal Controlled Substances Act. Its legal counsel has not yet provided any indication regarding whether it will champion or challenge the policy change in court. During the pretrial hearing last week, which may be viewed on our website, the judge gave the DEA until mid-December to provide its exhibits to the court. Each of the other participants in the hearing have already done so, and although Normal filed a notice of appearance and a notice of intent to participate in the trial and has been a party to past administrative petition efforts and hearings, it was not among those selected by the agency in its public comments to DEA in July. Normal concurred with views expressed by the Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, that cannabis, in quotes, has a currently accepted medical use and that its relatively low abuse potential is inconsistent with the criteria required for substances in either Schedule 1 or Schedule 2. The majority of participants who have been selected to participate in the trial oppose the effort to remove cannabis from Schedule 1 classification. The Biden administration initiated the regulatory process to review cannabis federal rescheduling in late of 2022, and that marked the 5th time that such an administrative petition to remove cannabis from Schedule 1 had been filed, with Normal filing the initial petition back in 1972, you guys. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Look at this. I mean, I'm not surprised they moved these hearings all the way till after the inauguration. Not surprised by that at all, man. I can't believe what you guys are going to have to say about this.
Oh, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy, Jason Beck. I mean,
Exactly.
I hate that we're more consistent than our government is in our working days.
Right?
Exponentially,
Exactly.
But I think we'll see. I'm not surprised that this got pushed back. I'm not surprised when they push it back yet again. So we shall see, Jason. What do you think?
I mean, I'm not surprised by this at all. This is just more for the. I don't expect anything less from our government at all whatsoever. It's not a surprise to me at all. And especially with the work week, I love the fact that they're doing a typical DC work week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That to me is the best. I mean, of course the judge wants to be able to.
Business.
I know. Of course the judge wants to be able to have Mondays and Fridays off. I mean, I'm not mad at him at that. You know what I mean?
Well, they got to have some time to talk to Kevin Sabet off record, right?
I thought that's what the weekends were for, Jenny Beth.
Well. They're trying to do it on the clock, bud.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, you know what, Jenny Beth? We do have to wish a very special happy birthday to a friend of ours out there.
Whose birthday is it?
It is Mac Sean's birthday today. Shout out to our friend Mac Sean.
Mac Sean.
Yes. Much love, Mac Sean.
And you do know that.
And you do know that. That is for sure. That is for sure. I know Rico is coming in. I'm texting Saman right now to ask him where the hell is he at.
Did you see Saman's Instagram story?
No.
He had a good old time last night.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Why he's late today. He's out in the NYC. So you know what I'm saying?
He's in the MIA.
No, he's not.
He was at.
No, he left MIA yesterday. For the NY, yeah.
She's probably tired.
He very well could be. He could be. He could definitely be tired. Jeremy Craney, he's funny. He says I can be a special guest host if y'all need me. Much respect, Jeremy.
He says he reads well and looks good on camera.
You gotta love that.
I kind of like this much, JB. I'm like,
you like it? This is definitely JB squared today, right here. This is
JB squared.
This is it, man.
As always.
But these DEA guys. I mean, I hope it doesn't go to Schedule 3. I know a lot of you out there watching, hoping that it does. And I will say this too: Dr. Talleyrand on Friday's show probably gave the most compelling argument that I've heard by anybody for why we should move it to Schedule 3. But I'm still not sold on that argument, although he did present a compelling argument.
And I totally understand his argument, and the positive points are positive points, right? However, this is the U.S. government, and we don't know because the FDA doesn't have jurisdiction over federally illicit substances, and giving them that jurisdiction is going to now put different implications into who can produce, who can sell, and who can actually participate in this argument or this industry, excuse me. So I think Schedule 3 is just once again a big old coup, if you will, to take the industry over by big pharma. Exactly. That's why I'm worried about it, because it's a big pharma play moving it to Schedule 3. And I know like Chris Brady's like, oh, but we'll have more access down here in Georgia. And I think that you have been sold a pipe dream, Chris Brady, in regards to that, because that is not going to provide you more access. I'm not buying that type of BS. It's not going to force states to create programs. No. It's not going to do that. So if somewhere still says it's legal, that's why we have alcohol's legal, right? But there are still dry counties where you can't purchase alcohol. Just go to Utah. You want to see a dry county. Right. So I think, it's not about the access stuff. It's not going to, the move out of Schedule 1 is going to hand the keys over to the pharmaceutical industry. And they've been trying to do that since Epidiolex and since all these patents they've tried to pull in, right?
I feel I feel like the DEA should hire Chris Brady for their messaging, because in the chat he says, Jason, it's not so much about the move to Schedule 3, it's about the move out of Schedule 1. Now that is a good freaking spin right there, Chris Brady. That is a good spin.
Ketamine is currently Schedule 3, right?
Mm-hmm. Everyone loves ketamine, right?
You get caught with a big old pocket full of ketamine in Georgia, guess where you're going?
You're going to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. And
yeah, so I think we just need to be more cognizant and more aware of what we're actually voting for and what the implications of these things are, right? Because it's really a tough situation.
And Hawaii Sustainable says Marinol is already a Schedule 3 drug, and that's a synthetic THC. So I think people are going to get screwed over. I think people are definitely going to get screwed over on that. But you guys keep on asking to get screwed over though with supporting this Schedule 3 bid. So you guys, And we do this all the time in this industry. We vote against our own best fucking interests. And that's why they're like, hey, guess what? We can do it to cannabis again. Just like everybody hating on Matt Gaetz being attorney general. You know what I mean? Same thing. Everyone voting against their best interests and always trying to make the bad the enemy of the good, and don't understand how to put one foot in front of the other, and just want to trample on all the progress that could have been made. Damn it to hell. Well. On that, we're going to roll into our first commercial, and we are going to be right back. Are back, you guys. Yes, coming up next, that's right, it is America's sweetheart. She's the founder of Kind Cannabis and of Justice Served, a 501c3. And look at this, it looks like she's sitting right next to me. That's right, it is none other than Miss Jenny Beth Dills. Oh wow, they moved me not next to me. But all right, I have a good one this morning. Way to go, Rico.
Yeah, bombed your shit. Bombed it.
Way to go, Rico. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So I have a really good one this morning, and Rico, I'm actually glad that you were able to make it in for my story that came hot off the presses last night, right before bedtime.
Me too. Can't wait.
Hell yeah. Because 2 former city officials from Baldwin Park and Commerce have pleaded guilty in a bribery scheme tied to Baldwin Park's cannabis permitting process. The U.S. Department of Justice announced the charges last week. Edgar Cisneros, the 42-year-old former city manager of Commerce, and Robert Tafoya, the 62-year-old former city attorney of Baldwin Park, admitted to their roles in soliciting and accepting bribes in exchange for votes and influence. Federal prosecutors allege the scheme began shortly after Baldwin Park started issuing cannabis permits, in 2017. Cisneros of Montebello accepted $45,000 in bribes to help secure a permit for a company, a move that reportedly netted him an agreement worth $235,000. In a separate scheme, Tafoya, a Redondo Beach resident, collaborated with former Compton City Councilman Isaac Galvin to secure permits through bribes for Galvin's consulting client. Richard Pacheco, a former Baldwin Park City Councilman, was at the center of these schemes. While he had already pleaded guilty to unrelated bribery charges in 2020, federal investigators say he orchestrated these bribes as well. Old habits die hard. Pacheco and another figure tied to the case, former San Bernardino County Planning Commissioner Gabriel Chavez, will be sentenced early next year. As for Galvin and his client, Yichang Bai, they faced trial in June 2025 after pleading not guilty to accusations of paying Pacheco $70,000 for cannabis permits. In a statement to KTLA, Baldwin Park City Manager Enrique C. Salvador emphasized the city's commitment to transparency and reform, citing efforts to ensure integrity in the cannabis licensing process. The FBI and IRS continue to investigate this matter as part of a larger public corruption probe. I fucking love to see it. We know this happens. We know there's a reason why certain people get permits and certain people don't. And we understand that If it's not a merit-based program, it shouldn't really matter. Well, it should matter who your licensing consultant is, but there are guys that you can pay a little bit more to make sure they can get some money in the hands of the people who can push those permits through for you. And I really am excited for them to probe farther into this. I think it's really interesting to me that the FBI and IRS have stuck their nose all into this, because you might get away from the DEA, you might get away from the city cops, the state cops, whatever. The IRS doesn't miss theirs. So I can't wait to see what you guys have to say about this, but it sounds like this gentleman has got quite a large amount of tax evasion if he's got all this money from these bribes. So throwing it back to you guys. Love to see it. Glad that we're finally having some accountability.
Man, you know, it's amazing what happens when Trump gets elected. All of a sudden, there's all this government accountability all of a sudden. Shout out to Doge.
All right.
Saying. We saw it too happen in Boston with the arrest of that other city councilwoman. Now that wasn't necessarily cannabis related, but all these ones that you're covering today, Jenny Beth, these people were getting brown paper bags full of cash and just you know what I'm saying? Here, you get a license and you get a license, thinking that they're Oprah Winfrey.
It's amazing. It's amazing how you blame everything that you like on Trump and everything you don't like on everybody else. That's amazing too.
Hey, you know, I just point out the consistencies, Rico. I just point out the consistencies, bro.
This man ain't even in office, and he's already cured cancer.
It's already happening, bro. It's already happening, bro. The world's already becoming a better place. Just the fact that people knowing that he's coming into office.
There's no more need for cannabis as medicine. You got Donald Trump in office, huh? Yeah, Jason.
I mean, you could always just go and just secure a bag of raspberry riots from ParodyGummy.com. That would always cure your day, Rico.
No, I'll just pray to Donald Trump.
Pray to Donald Trump, bro. Ain't no one advocating for any of that.
Rico, what do you think about these? Rico, what do you think about these bribes?
Yeah, what do you?
Well, I mean,
you know a thing or two about bribes.
They pleaded guilty.
I feel you on that, bro. That's for sure. Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a couple of things. Number one, they pleaded guilty. Number two, it is City of Commerce. You know what I'm saying? City of Commerce and Baldwin Hills kind of has a history of that. West Coast Chicago. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's I don't know. It is what it is. It's politics, it's cannabis, and it's just ripe for intervention like these guys. And you know what? They got popped.
You know what I'm doing right now? Because you guys, I'm nosy as shit.
I don't know.
There he is.
What else you want me to fucking say about that shit? Like, dudes pleaded guilty and they got caught for the shit. Like, I just don't understand these politicians that get involved with this shit. You know, there's a fucking paper. You know, there's a fucking paper trail. Like, do people just not use cash?
They don't. You know what I'm saying? They don't care, bro. I mean, in all fairness, a lot of people don't use cash. You got, you know, like restaurants like Sweetgreens and whatnot that are like credit card only and don't accept cash. And to me, I think that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. But nonetheless,
it's against California state law, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm. See, like, Jay-Z, I want to bring it back to the days where we had weed and Ziploc bags and we had cash and unmarked envelopes.
You could have just stopped it. We still had cash.
Well, not to mention, I mean, like, you know, these elected officials probably would have done a lot better if they would have just asked for a bundle of cash in a brown paper bag, and then did like that one guy and just threw it in his freezer. You know, we had that cold hard cash when the FBI raided his house and they found like $50,000 in cash in his freezer.
Literally cold hard cash.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Keep it on ice. You know what I mean?
Me and you, Jason, we over here waxing poetic and everything, man. Bring back the old days where motherfuckers covered up their tracks. Like old boy got popped for that UNH killing. I refuse to call it a fucking assassination. Like, dude ain't a fucking president on nothing in the killing, and because he left a fucking paper trail. Like, these motherfuckers just sloppy these days. Whatever happened to unsolved mysteries, man? With all of the nanny state CCTV everywhere and all this, like, fools are getting popped for the same shit that they would have gotten popped back in the old days. Just
Rico, you're gonna love this.
Go for it, Jenny.
I did some digging and I found the case for 2023.
Oh, is that
where
right?
the federal bribery trial of a former Compton councilman and his co-conspirator was postponed until April of this year.
Is that Isaac?
Isaac Galvin and Yicheng Bai are facing federal bribery charges. They paid $70,000. So this guy's got a price. His standard ticket is $70,000, it sounds like. To a member of the Baldwin City Council.
Hey, it's good to have a standard
that
price.
Was a big story. Yeah, that I remember that one. That was a pretty big story. And I would not be surprised if, whether it's in cannabis or other sectors, like he was just doling out shit, man. Like you said, Jenny Beth, he had his price, and motherfuckers had that. They dropped it off. Well,
and this was also the same deal in exchange for votes and cannabis permits.
Mm-hmm.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah. And if they're convicted, by the way, Galvin and Bai would both face a statutory maximum sentence of 5 years in federal prison for the conspiracy count and up to 10 years in federal prison for the bribery count and up to 20 years in federal prison for each honest services wire fraud count.
As soon as he gets out, he will be a pundit on Fox News.
These guys were wiring the money. Like you were act like you cared about getting caught.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Hey, I mean, I'm not.
So say those all run concurrent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Concurrent, 20 years.
They will all
still
run concurrent.
Kind of sucks. Still kind of sucks.
It does. You have any thoughts on this, Saman? You're out there in the great state of New York, the land of corrupt politicians. Out there, you know what I mean? Out there with Kathy Hochul, and you know what I'm saying? I think you're on mute.
America is the land of corrupt politicians. Let's keep it a buck.
I think you're on mute, Saman.
America is corrupt politicians.
Mm-hmm.
Run them up.
I mean, it's funny. Look, I travel around this great city. I see statues of pioneers who started whatever in this city. And it's amazing because
rapists and slave owners.
It's like the stuff that's said about these people. Who knows who actually did what? But we know that the building of America is a pretty interesting story.
Yeah.
It's a tapestry.
It's the greatest country in the world.
Rife with violence, rife with bribery, rife with wheeling and dealing of the political
corruption
classes. So look, I don't think that it's a surprise to any of us. This country was built upon treasonous traitors who left England to start their own.
Those are
colony.
freedom fighting patriots, bro.
Yeah, patriots. But let's not forget that they did leave England because of the unjust taxation.
Yeah,
no, they didn't.
Exactly.
Did you read? No. Stop trying to revisionist history.
Stop. That's not a revision of history.
Hold on. If you look into the shit that found the old Boston Tea Party and all that shit, these motherfuckers were a bunch of these motherfuckers were a bunch of whining ass Karens and fucking Chads. They were paying a tenth. The absolute minimum of any kind of taxation, and they were just like wilding out and complaining about that shit. Like,
it's not wilding out and complaining.
Because I look at the ship and come across you. The crazy. I'm gonna send y'all a fucking link to the real story of that shit. These motherfuckers just wanted to break free. They was wilding out. They were only like 30 years old, each of them, like all of them. They're just like, yo, fuck this, fuck our parents, fuck our grandparents. We out this bitch.
I'm about that life.
The whole non-taxation
sounds like they weren't down with the way their grandparents and their parents were.
Yeah, no, they were just like it really wasn't that big of a bill, and they weren't really getting pressed like that. They just wowed the fuck out. Like,
you know what?
People forget George Washington was only like 32 years old when the whole thing went down.
There's to say that Rico that we aren't that oppressed, but that our wiling out isn't justified is wrong, bro. That's a wrong statement.
Rico, you know what Reagan used to say about Plymouth Rock, right?
What is this in the pre-dementia days?
No, stop. Be nice. Reagan was a fantastic president.
That's a real
Reagan used to say about Plymouth Rock that if Plymouth Rock was on the West Coast, the East Coast would still be uninhabited.
I'm more of a fan of Malcolm X's comments on Plymouth Rock.
Of course you would be. Of course you would be. You want to throw a quote out there? Malcolm X?
Yeah. Which one do you support?
Yeah, which
about
one?
his, what does he say about
What's your
Plymouth Rock?
favorite?
I'm
What's your
not
favorite
familiar.
quote about Plymouth Rock with Malcolm X?
And we didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. That's
Yes, mine.
Oh boy.
I was waiting on Rico.
Mhm. Yeah, Rico. I think Rico forgot it. That's why he didn't say it.
Rico.
I got that shit tattooed on my lower back.
You got a tattoo? You have a lower back tattoo, Rico? You have a lower back tattoo, huh? You got a tramp stamp?
You got a tattoo of Roy Orbison on your ass, Rico?
I got that shit. I got a quote down there, and it got the praying hands underneath it, and it got the tribal fucking designs around that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
wow, so you appropriated a whole culture and community to make your tramp stamp.
I'm glad that's what you got out of it.
Hold on, Jeremy Craney in the chat says Rico got a Black Panther tattoo on his butt cheek. The question is, do you have the fist up like in between the cheeks?
Whoa, Jason, whoa, bro. This is a family show, bro. This is a family show, okay?
It is not. That is a possible.
I'm so triggered by that.
Nice, you guys.
Oh man! Oh
my goodness!
That's
crying
classic.
over here. It got tears in my eyes.
Classic, yeah.
But why do they call them tramp stamps instead of lady tramps? Because wasn't Lady the girl?
Yeah, it was lady. The lady was the tramp. And it's Disney, Disney is always trying to perpetuate a bad shit on kids.
I thought it was like Lady and the Tramp. I thought it was Lady and the Tramp.
Just because I know they like to misappropriate shit. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be Lady the Tramp, but someone wanted to throw an "and" sign in there.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm. Disney's always fucking shit up, bro.
I know.
Look how they did Aladdin. Come on now. Come on.
See, look. Of course, Saman bringing in Aladdin.
What do you expect from a company that was started by a Nazi? You know what I'm saying?
A woke ass company. I'm with you. All their woke ideology bullshit. But nonetheless, we are gonna roll right on into the dope dad himself, Mr. Rico Lamitte. He's a dope dad. He had to take little baby Zozo to the dentist to make sure she didn't have no cavities yesterday, but he is back with us today. That's right. It is the dope dad himself, Mr. Rico Lamitte.
Oh yeah, Jason. Thank you very much. And support, man. Take your kids to the motherfucking dentist.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So later on in life, they don't have stank breath and fucked up teeth. But
and that's a great hat, by the way, Rico. Fantastic looking hat,
isn't it?
Yeah.
I need a new one, man. It's looking kind of like a rough around the edges. You know what I'm saying? Like this one's been through some shit.
At least it's not
a couple of conferences.
At least it's not ashy. At least it's not ashy.
I'll turn it around backwards.
Oh, stop the cap.
Anyways, all right. So I have effectively stopped the cap. And so, lots of bets were made in in Vegas last week on how 2025 would play out for the cannabis industry at MJ BizCon. MJ Biz Daily's Margaret Jackson covered the most notable expert forecasts yesterday, citing M&A and interstate expansion as key areas for opportunity that most seemed to agree with. In the article, Jackson inferred that the cannabis industry is poised for significant changes and opportunities in 2025, driven by shifting consumer preferences, regulatory, evolutionary, and market dynamics. She then touched on the top insights that she believed to be highlighting key areas of growth. 1. Mergers and acquisitions. Financially strong companies are expected to acquire struggling, over-leveraged competitors, leading to market consolidation. Experts recommend aggressive acquisition of cash-generating assets to capitalize on distressed business. Okay. M&A thing is already happening in established markets, so I don't really see that letting up anytime soon. So that's kind of a gimme. The second one she noted here is interstate expansion. Established operators with proven success, with access to capital, will expand into new state markets. Lenders and investors favor seasoned operators with demonstrated operational strength. Okay. It's the same thing. Yes. Like, why would you not expand into new territories if you're very successful in an established market? I don't know. So consumer trends, number 3. increased demand for non-smoking products like edibles and infused beverages, Jason's favorite, especially among women seeking wellness-focused solutions. Growing preference for high-quality, potent cannabis products, including solventless hash rosin across categories. So drinkables and high-potency products, they have not let up. They've continued an upward trajectory, so I don't see why they would not continue that trend. Okay. And federal rescheduling and research. Potential federal rescheduling of cannabis could enable more government-funded research and pharmaceutical innovations. Expanded scientific studies may drive advancements in medical cannabis applications. I have a big problem with them saying pharmaceutical innovations. Generally, innovation means they just capitalize on a patent and make it so your ass can't produce this once legalization comes. But you know what? Rescheduling is just a matter of time, and that more research term that she used there is just another code word for more delays will be coming until they find out how to get their money. Cannabis technology and artificial intelligence. AI can streamline supply chains, optimize distribution, and enhance consumer personalization. Ancillary businesses have opportunities to create scalable software solutions like point-of-sale systems and enterprise tools exempt from federal tax restrictions. All right, so AI, obviously, more applications across the supply chain are going to increase efficiency. I think that what she left out there was they're also going to be replacing labor redundancies. It is a very, very unpopular part of the AI revolution is the fact that people are going to be losing jobs. But hey, since Donald Trump is kicking out all these undocumented people, maybe you can get one of their jobs too. But product innovation. Brands are leveraging advanced cannabinoid ingredients, new flavors, and data-driven insights to create innovative products for emerging markets. So product innovation, I don't really know about that. It's pretty vague with that last point that she made there. I personally haven't seen anything crazy coming out of emerging markets beside like hemp derivatives. I don't know. Have you guys seen anything? I don't know.
I would say that there's some innovative stuff coming out. I mean, there's products like Hello Again that are very.
Yeah,
There's also these amazing gummies that are about. They're amazing hemp-derived.
Yes, that's right. You can go to www.parodygummy.com to secure your bag today.
Come on, Rico.
Yes.
Come on, Rico. You need to open them eyeballs, bro.
But you were not in an emerging market, though. She said.
Sure, I am. I'm in New York right now. What do you mean? I'm in New York City right now.
Yeah, he's in the freedom market, Rico. Besides Operation Padlock.
Okay. OPP. All right. Anyways, the cannabis sector is projected $58 billion in sales by 2030, indicate vast opportunities for companies prepared to navigate a challenging yet promising market landscape. Well, I usually don't have a ton of pushback on all the Chads and Karens and their year-end forecasts. I do think that this year's were overall conservative enough to agree with for the most part. As far as dude, they were just like super conservative with these predictions. I think a lot of folks are just waiting to see what will happen, if anything, when Trump returns to Washington. And my guess, as usual, is not much is going to change. I think 2025 will be predictably be a lot more boring than any of these gaslighting ass headlines lead us on to believe.
I don't know about that.
Hold on, let me finish. I was gonna say I'm still interested in all of your thoughts too. I'm Rico Lamitte, the dopest dad on the street for High at 9 News. Now let's hear it, Saman, instead of cutting my brother off. How about that?
No, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted you to wrap up that nonsense, Rico. That's all. Look.
Okay. What was nonsense about it?
No, what you said about people waiting is true. We see that reflected in all of the cannabis stocks right now. Everything is kind of in this holding pattern on the lower end of where it's been at. And I think everyone's ready for Big Dog to get back into office so that we can see how things can progress in this country. There's a reason to believe that when we get a new president that there's going to be a little bit of movement there, and I think that's true. However, I am definitely a skeptic. I think that everyone just tosses around cannabis for their political gain and need, and I don't think it actually means anything to these people. So we will see. All right, but I definitely want people to know that right now is the time to start strategizing, start planning. Don't freak out. Don't start mass selling off your stocks, because things are going to change and things are going to round up. We know that's going to happen, but I'm not a financial advisor. Do as your financial advisor tells you. I just think that it's a pattern that I can see and a lot of people can see it. And I just want to say that when we do get a new president, I think things will start looking.
Hey, Saman, where was the nonsense that I said? You said all that nonsense that I said. You pretty much said the same thing that I said. I think it's going to be status.
No, you're reading.
Hold on. I said, I'm pretty sure people were just waiting to see what will happen, if anything, when Trump gets in office. And my guess is probably not much will change.
All kinds of things are going to change. We're going to have a 51st state, Rico. We're going to have a 51st state. That's a big change. Canada's going to be the 51st state.
I'm still asking Saman, where's the nonsense you're talking about? You just pretty much paraphrased the same thing that I said.
We all know everything you say is nonsense, Rico.
You're skepticism.
And how's it nonsense? Come up with facts. I'm all down. I'm all down for the shit. I'm all down for the shit talking, but back the shit up with some facts. Like,
there's no shit talking.
I'm just saying, like, it's going to be status quo. Like, Donald Trump's going to get into office, and I don't think much is going to change.
Look at what the status quo is right now, and if we improve from that, Rico, that's not the status quo.
We're gonna prove night and day, bro. We're gonna go back to.
So what big is gonna change if that's nonsense?
Look, I spent a lot of time cooking up some networking in Miami, and there's a lot of interesting things abound. I think the AI conversation with how things are gonna look and feel in the future is really where the conversation needs to be focused on.
That's what I said.
Well, you're not.
Yes, I did.
Rico, you take every chance you can to just go ahead and disintegrate.
And in all fairness, he did.
This administration
he did talk about the AI thing being it.
Oh, he did. I'm saying. Look, stop, Rico, stop. This is what I'm saying to you. Is like, I hear what you're saying, but that's not your message. Your message is disintegrating what this new administration is going to do. So let me just say.
I like how you.
Hold on, Rico. Let Saman finish, Rico. Rico, let Saman finish.
AI is going to change everything, right? And what we're going to see change about AI is all of the consumer-facing aspects of this. It has nothing to do with the administration. It has to do with selling you and me a product. That is what the difference is. The commerce exchange in America is going to hit a new height. It's going to hit a new level. And of course, cannabis is the #1 product that wants to be sold to all of these consumers, and they will allow it. And that is going to be where these things change, Rico. And I think the general idea and the gist of this is that technology is going to advance our movement faster than we can advance it.
Okay, if you're going to take shots at me and the things that I say, if you can take shots at me and the things that I say, you got to come with some evidence. Like, what was I saying to disintegrate?
Don't worry about what you're saying. But
Rico, you're always saying. You're always saying.
No. I did not say any of that. What did I say?
Everybody keep your ears
open. Why are you
so
triggered?
Rico tearing down the Trump administration.
Rico, you're the only one that's getting triggered about this.
Why are you getting so triggered?
You're the only one that's getting triggered, Rico.
Well.
No. Give me a specific. What did I say to trigger you so much today?
It's nothing you said in this particular moment. It's your general attitude toward the Trump administration.
My attitude.
Office.
Yeah,
let's see.
He's going to do amazing things, bro. First of all, he's going to remove Operation Checkpoint. Go ahead, Jenny.
Put a 1 in the chat if you think that Rico is anti-Trump. Put a 2 in the chat if you think Rico's just full of shit.
Why don't we just put a poll up, Adam? Is Rico anti-Trump? Yes or no? And I think that'll be the easiest way to do it.
I think you one step further. If I'm anti-Trump, what did I say that was anti-Trump that triggered you so much?
Damn, there's a whole lot of 2s coming through.
Yeah. What did I say that triggered you so much this morning, Saman?
I guess the people that throw in a 3 are undecided.
It's something you said particularly. It might just be the constant ambulance sound, all night long in this city. But it's
So for the first blackface you saw this morning, you got to attack him. right?
Oh, man.
Actually, no, because I think I was here before you, so I'd have been the first blackface seen this morning.
You guys are funny. You guys are funny. Hey,
look at that.
Hey, black on brown violence does not exist, guys. Okay.
No, I call that a party, baby. Let's go. Let's get some good food, good cooking. It's all good.
You're getting chased down by a mob, and I see you standing at the edge of a cliff on a Persian rug. I'm gonna expect you to turn that bitch on and get us out of there,
guys. It's all. Hey, I was with. Listen, you have no idea, Jenny. I
already stole Jasmine from your ass. So take your bitch ass.
You culturally appropriating our women now, Rico? Come on.
Oh, that's a genie. That's a genie going right back in that lamp. I'll tell you what,
genie going in the.
Oh, look at that! Shout out to Terp Genie out there.
Shout out to Terp Genie.
Hey man, I'll be that Will Smith genie in this movie. I'll tell you what.
I bet you would. You would try to culturally appropriate to Will Smith. All right. Well, you know what? We've had a good time. Know what it means. We've had a good time with that. We're going to keep on this train rolling. We're going to roll into a commercial. We're going to be right back. I just ordered the summertime strawberry salad when added steak on top here at Anna's. Make sure you do the same thing too next time you're in downtown Long Beach. Come on down and check out Anna's joint on the 400 block of Pine Street. They have amazing selection of beers, foods, and when you come down here to Anna's, you can even challenge me to a game of shuffleboard if you want to lose. Did you get that? So, next time you're in downtown Long Beach on Pine Avenue, make sure you stop by Anna's Joint on the 400 block. Not only do they have Anna's Joint, this restaurant and bar, but they also have the amazing deli next door. And then next door to that, they have a very exotic flower shop. You may want to stop by and say hi. All right, stop whatever you're doing. Make sure you smash that like button. I know we'll appreciate it. You'll appreciate it, and YouTube will appreciate it. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And all of the articles that we cover on today's show, you can read directly on our website at www.high9news.com. And also, too, I do want to give a big shout out. We're going to, when we've closed out the show today, Rico, we are going to, we have some Christmas tunes to play right before the outro. And so, Adam, make sure that you cue that up. Sunday, I meant to give a shout out to them yesterday, and I totally slipped my mind, so I apologize. But shout out to the Huntington Beach High School band, because they actually came by the house on Sunday night with doing some caroling, Rico, and oh man, it just gave me that whole Christmas vibe, and I got a video that we're gonna play at the end of the show all the way through Christmas.
Did you check ID?
Didn't no one?
Jason,
stop your ridiculousness, Rico. Stop the ridiculousness. Are you all ready for America's new #1 D9 gummy line? That's right, we are bringing to you Parody Gummy. These vegan gummies are manufactured in a safe harbor facility, so you know they're gonna be clean and safe, and they're not gonna give you any of the runaround. Coming in, we have 3 amazing flavors for you. We have the Raspberry Riots. Also, we have the Sleepy Joes if you need something to help you sleep at night. And if you're feeling like raging and having a party time, that's right, we have the Pineapple Bad Hombre. If you're feeling like a bad hombre, make sure you head over to www.parodygummy.com and secure your bag today. Yes, and we are back.
Yes, we are, Jason. Mm-hmm. Up next, we got an award-winning solvent extraction pioneer, forever a student of the game. And you know what? Seems to be a truth believer now that he had a little shindig down in Miami.
Yeah.
He's he's a full-on MAGA where he doesn't care about facts, he doesn't care about evidence, but he's all about feeling. That feeling he has in the gut today is going to make you say, hello, hi again. Let's come to the stage. None other than Saman Razani. Yeah.
Can't hear.
I'm just trying to hold on to that feeling. Breathe in, Rico. Breathe out. It's okay. It's gonna be okay.
Hey, how many times did you guys dance to YMCA this past weekend?
Oh man, it was great, bro. On the yacht, YMCA is just a whole nother thing.
It's a whole nother vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, man. On the yacht, yeah.
Big shout out to all the artists. Big shout out to all the artists at Art Basel. Big shout out to all the vendors. Turk Basel, all the homies at Turk Basel, Matt, Steve, Scooch, you guys are amazing. We had a great time there. Miami is on fire, people. If you have a chance to go next year, I highly recommend it. But we are in New York City right now, coming live to you from BK, and we are on the High at 9 tour and spreading the good cheer around the Northeast. So today I have an article here from Marijuana Moment. Congressional researchers highlight different court interpretations of medical marijuana protections by Kyle Yeager. As the Biden administration moves forward with its proposal to reschedule marijuana, congressional researchers are highlighting divergent federal court interpretations of an existing policy protecting state medical cannabis programs from Justice Department interventions. And I think we all remember back in the day from our dear friend, Congressman Dana Rohrabacher, and, accompanied by another great congressman from Oregon. And this protection was what kept us all in the game and kept us free from a jail cell for a long time. So the revisionists are looking back at this now. In a legal sidebar from the Congressional Research Services, CRS, that was published on Thursday, analysts also laid out an additional consideration for Congress, including possibly clarifying the intent of the appropriations rider that provides the medical marijuana protections or legalizing cannabis altogether. The report first provided an overview of the long-standing spending bill rider covering DOJ that prevents the department from using its funds to interfere in state medical marijuana programs, with a focus on how different federal courts have ruled on the scope of those protections. On its face, the appropriations rider bars DOJ from taking legal action against the states directly in order to prevent them from promulgating or enforcing medical marijuana laws, CRS said of the policy, which was first enacted in 2014. In addition, federal courts have interpreted the rider to prohibit certain federal prosecutions of private individuals or organizations that produce, distribute, or process marijuana in accordance with state medical marijuana laws. Though in those cases, criminal defendants have invoked the rider before trial, seeking either the dismissal of their indictments or injunctions barring prosecution, it said. By contrast, courts have generally declined to apply the rider outside the context of initial criminal prosecutions. There are two distinct interpretations of how the rider should be applied that CRS focused on. One from the U.S. Court of Appeals for the First Circuit and another from the U.S. Court of Appeals in the Ninth Circuit. In a 2016 case, the Ninth Circuit held that while the rider prevented DOJ from preventing the implementation of the state medical cannabis laws, federal courts could still restrict registered patients from using cannabis as a condition of probation. The court also broadly ruled in a separate 2016 case that in order to be safeguarded under the appropriations policy, people must strictly comply with their state medical marijuana law. Individuals who do not strictly comply with the state law conditions regarding the use, distribution, possession, and cultivation of medical marijuana have engaged in conduct that is unauthorized, and prosecuting such individuals does not violate the rider, the Ninth Circuit Court said. The court also applied the standard to a later case involving two medical cannabis workers who were prosecuted for smoking marijuana while they were processing products for sale. Because the workers couldn't demonstrate that they themselves were registered patients, the Ninth Circuit said that they could be prosecuted regardless of the appropriations rider. But the First Circuit diverged from the Ninth Circuit interpretation in a 2022 case, that involved medical marijuana cannabis workers in Maine who were accused of distributing large quantities of marijuana outside the state program and even to buyers outside the state. The First Circuit did allow the prosecution to go forward, but it disagreed with the interpretation about the need for strict compliance with state medical cannabis laws in order to enforce the congressional rider. This is ridiculous. We're arguing over, how strict or how loose we are acting with the laws. This is just goes to show you people, this is where we're fucking everything up right here. The court noted that the text of the rider does not explicitly require strict compliance with state law, and that given the complexity of the state marijuana regulations, the potential for technical non-compliance with state law is real enough that no person through any reasonable effort could always ensure or always assure strict compliance, CRS explained. Thus, the First Circuit concluded that requiring strict compliance with state law would likely chill state legal medical marijuana activities and prevent the states from giving effect to their medical marijuana laws. It remains to be seen whether and how the difference of reasoning between the Ninth Circuit and the First Circuit will make practical differences in federal marijuana prosecution, the report says. In theory, the First Circuit's analysis could make it easier for defendants to invoke an appropriations rider to bar federal prosecutions because they could do so even if they had not acted in strict compliance with state law. In practice, however, resource limitations and enforcement priorities have historically meant that federal marijuana prosecutions target only individuals and organizations that have clearly not complied with state law. Thus, one of the First Circuit judges who considered Bilodeau agreed with the panel's interpretation of the rider, but wrote a concurrence noting that in practice, the First Circuit standard might not be materially different from that one of the Ninth Circuit, he replied. CRS also noted other limitations of the appropriations rider, including the fact that Congress could repeal the protections or let the provisions lapse in a future spending bill. The protections also do not extend to adult use marijuana programs, despite several attempts by lawmakers to broaden the shield. Additionally, the policy only restricts actions of the Department of Justice and not other areas of the government. The analysis further notes that participants in the cannabis industry may face numerous collateral consequences arising from the federal prohibition of marijuana in areas including bankruptcy, taxation, and immigration. Many of those legal consequences attach regardless of whether a person is charged with or convicted of a CSA offense, meaning the rider would not affect them. It also said that because the rider broadly refers to marijuana without specifically dealing with its scheduling status under the CSA, the Biden administration's plan to reclassify cannabis with Schedule III drug would not affect the rider. Congress has the authority to enact legislation to clarify or alter the scope of appropriations rider, repeal the rider, or decline to include it in future appropriations laws. For instance, Congress could amend the rider to specify whether strict compliance or substantial compliance with state medical marijuana law is required in order to bar prosecution under the CSA, or provide a different standard that DOJ and courts should apply. Congress could also expand the scope of the rider to bar expenditure or funds on prosecutions related to recreational marijuana or other controlled substances. CRS also noted that Congress have wider latitude to affect federal marijuana laws outside the appropriations process. It could impose strict policies to increase DOJ's ability to enforce prohibition, or it could choose to enact proposals to end cannabis criminalization, for example. Additional proposals from the past few years could seek to address specific legal consequences of marijuana Schedule I status by, for example, enabling marijuana businesses to access banking services or removing collateral consequences for individuals in areas such as immigration, federally assisted housing, and gun ownership, it says. And that is the article from Marijuana Moment. Really interesting. I mean, typically speaking, I don't think that we have a lot to worry about if our government gets their actual shit together and starts taking this industry more seriously. I'm just plugging my computer here, excuse me. I think it's interesting that they're starting to really debate this and start kind of picking this apart at a visceral level. I think we all should be a little bit concerned, but I also think that this is why, you know, people like myself, people like Jason and Jenny are hopeful that the Trump administration actually can get their shit together. We obviously have seen the massive fumbling of the marijuana industry, of the cannabis industry in general by the Biden administration. They have not given one shit about us at all. And now they're on their way out. And what's happening? Absolutely nothing when they have a chance. So I hate to say it, no one really gives a crap about this. You know, definitely no politician. Doesn't matter how much money's in it. We all have to band together. We all have to start really speaking up and start, carrying the same conversation. All of the bifurcation of this plan has done is exclude and alienate a lot of us in many different markets. I think it's time to stop that. So hopefully we see our government get their act together. But love to hear what you guys think. Please comment and let us know what you guys have to say. This is Saman Razani, and thank you for listening.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Saman, do you think this hearing or whatever? Do you think there was a point to it? Do you think?
Say that one more time, Rico. Sorry, bro.
Do you think there's like a point to the? I mean, even to this hearing, is not really going to do anything at all.
I mean, it doesn't sound like there's a super point, but other than I think it kind of coalesces with all these other conversations.
It's all theatrics.
Testimony. It's the expert testimony.
It's all theatrics.
We're giving at the DEA
More kabuki
hearing.
theater.
I mean, it's you have to understand that it's not that they don't want to have the conversation, that they're going to extract from those conversations exactly what they need to enact the laws they already have in mind to enact. So it's about who gets up there, what they say.
Oh, you're saying it's how they're going to justify it. Whatever they're going to do is they're going to pull pick and choose off of this and off of that for how they wanted it to go down in the first place, Saman.
100%. I mean, you're going to take. I mean, like that's exactly.
So there's a predestined destination. Regardless, it's just a matter of whether you take route A, B, or C. You're saying.
That's absolutely true, my friend.
Interesting. So it's like using Waze for government relations.
It's like using Apple Maps. It's like Apple Maps, Google, and Waze fucking trifecta. You know what I mean?
No, Waze is the best because it tells you where the cops are.
There you go, Jason.
Yeah, there's nothing better than Waze.
I don't give a fuck about those new school graphics. No, nothing. Just show me where the cops are at, and I'm good to go.
I don't ever use Google. I don't ever use Apple. I don't use any of those things. The only thing that I use is Waze.
Nope. Yes, sir.
It just depends on where you're at. It just depends on when you're in the middle of the cut. Apple Maps is the way to go. Google Maps, other than that, is my go-to, man.
I'm able to make my ways around with Waze. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. So many ways to make your ways
exactly.
Around.
Just like the Ways and Means Committee. You know what I mean?
Saman, you do have a point. Like, be careful using Waze when you're in the hood because you might end up someplace you ain't supposed to be.
Yeah, you want to cut through those side streets. You better be careful what city you in. That's
your car might be involved in the sideshow pretty soon. No, but one comment that you made, you said that you are hopeful about the Trump administration. What do you think the Trump administration is going to change?
I think the Trump administration is really focused on commerce, and I really think that they're going to take that initiative to really start to like create a method to this madness and say, hey, this is obviously here to stay. The genie is out of the lamp, my friends.
The fact that you're traveling with that thing,
hey, Jenny, this is what
he has a flying carpet, Jenny.
This is a Houdini.
You know he's pulling that out in front of random chicks and be like, "Yo,
yes, rub my bottle."
Definitely not. But we all need our gimmicks out here. You know
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
I want one of those. I'm not gonna lie.
I bet you do.
Wow.
Look at that.
So I'm just
branded merch soon.
I'm trying to keep it as neutral as possible here.
Is that because the poll is saying that you're a Trump supporter, you're anti-Trump?
I'm just trying to find out from you Trump supporters. I'm just trying to find out, like, what should we expect? I 100% agree that they're all about commerce. This is why I was vehemently against those dumbass Democrats, like, taking things the way they did. I'm like, yo, make this shit about the economy. People care about money. So what can we look forward to? You know, if it's all about commerce, what are some of the things that you think that'll happen first?
Operation Choke Point, the removal of Operation Choke Point.
Okay.
That's one of the things that I'm super hopeful for in within the first 100 days easily. Okay.
And how would that affect immediately our industry?
What do you? Are you serious?
Hold on. No. It'll affect both access to banking and both people who have been debanked and had their assets frozen and taken because they're in an industry that the banks are considering not moral.
Yeah, I'm not. I promise on everything. I'm not gaslighting. I'm really asking.
I wasn't even trying to cut Jason off. I just knew I could get to the point faster than he could.
Stop it.
And it's 10:01. Shit, I'm just trying to keep things moving along.
That's cute. Well, we did get a super chat from the C Word who says Trump is going to put a pot in every home and a dab rig in every garage in America.
This is what I want to say.
Yes,
I want to say the new motto is like, let's get to one system and then we can make America stoned again.
And Brian Dombrowski comes in with a super chat too. Thank you so much for that, Brian. He says Farm Bill 2025, and yes, that's Farm
right,
Bill.
baby.
That's right. We just keep on kicking the can down the road and allowing for THCA all day, every day, baby. I'm all about it.
Hold on. So.
What?
Keep on kicking the can down the road.
Yeah, I'm with that.
But I thought big changes were coming. See, this is what I'm asking you guys. Like you said,
big changes are coming, bro. Big changes are coming. Sometimes the biggest change is no change, Rico. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're just using all bills to pay for everything.
Okay. Let's keep this rolling.
All right, we're gonna keep this train rolling. We're gonna roll into our next commercial, and we're gonna be right back.
Are you a business that's suffering from the hyperinflation that is plaguing America today? We have the solution for you. That's right, Patriot Business Financing. Head on over to www.patriotbfc.com and apply for a loan up to $2 million. Any state, any industry, even the cannabis industry, the CBD industry, as well as the industrial hemp fiber industry. Secure up to $2 million today, and make sure that when you apply, you tell Paul you said hi from High at 9.
And
they actually said.
Whoa. And we are back, you guys. I'm gonna roll into this next story while you guys figure all of this stuff out. So
we're going to get the folding chairs, Jason.
Yes. Russell was supposed to be with us today, but there was like a miscommunication or whatnot. So this is what Russell was gonna cover today, you guys. And then I have one final story for you guys because after marijuana measures failure, Florida hemp shops stand to benefit. That's right. And all you Florida shop owners out there, make sure that you reach out so we can get some Parody gummy on your shelves, because that's what people are asking for. They're scattered across Tampa Bay. Dispensaries like stores lined by glass shelves containing colorful assortment of intoxicating products. Gummies, joints, vape cartridges promise consumers an unforgettable high. These shops aren't marijuana dispensaries, but they sure look like them. And after Amendment 3's colossal failure, small hemp retailers, which thrive in legal gray area, may profit from a continued ban on adult use marijuana. Local vendors, St. Pete 420, the Hemp Spot, and Chillum Mushroom and Hemp Dispensary all expanded in the last year. More than 9,500 Florida shops, from gas stations, convenience stores, to smoke shops, are licensed to sell marijuana-like products derived from hemp plants. Around 1,500 are in Tampa Bay alone. Some hemp products which consumers 21 and older can buy meet the state's definition of marijuana but escape detection by regulators, a Tampa Bay Times Miami Herald investigation found. Others purchased by reporters were revealed to contain harmful levels of mold and pesticides. And since June of 2023, the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Safety have uncovered more than 1 million hemp products on store shelves that violated state law. Had Amendment 3 passed, hemp shops would have faced overwhelming corporate competition, mainly from Trulieve. Florida's massive medical marijuana companies, which abide by strict product safety regulations, I'm not sure if I'm buying that, but would have been able to sell pot to consumers without requiring a medical card. The amendment gave all the control to huge monopolies, said Mickey Morrison, co-owner of St. Pete's 420, a hemp dispensary. He says, there'd be no mom and pop shops, period, he says. The hemp industry lobbied fiercely against Amendment 3, alleging that it would create a corporate monopoly among the 28 companies already licensed to sell medical marijuana in the state. Governor Ron DeSantis helped them win that fight in partnership between strange bedfellows. That's right, cannabis attorney Zach Corbin said. In an additional quote, it was less to do with hemp and more how to kill Amendment 3, he said. But business owners wonder how long the freewheeling industry will escape federal or state regulations that could threaten their livelihoods. And health experts wonder about consequences for consumers who can easily purchase marijuana-like products without the same safety regulations imposed on medical marijuana companies. Consumers looking for marijuana-like high in Florida have two options. They can, one, order paradygummy.com directly to their doorstep, or with a licensed physician, help seek a medical card if they have qualifying conditions. Think cancer, epilepsy, post-traumatic stress disorder, or comparable ailments. The process can cost hundreds of dollars, and these cards allow consumers to shop at licensed marijuana dispensaries like Trulieve and Cetera Wellness. Without a card, consumers can walk into a smoke shop and find joints and edibles, while not technically marijuana, contain similar intoxicating chemicals derived from hemp plants. Places like St. Pete 420 have capitalized on the easy access, declaring no medical card needed on storefronts. And so what's the distinction between hemp and marijuana, you ask? Well, per federal law, a hemp plant and products thereof must contain less than 0.3% THC of the specific intoxicating substance rich in marijuana plants, Delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol, commonly referred to as THC, and any higher percentage makes it a marijuana plant. Both hemp and marijuana are cannabis plants, and they're all the same thing, really, even under the Controlled Substances Act, as far as the definition, and they look virtually identical. That's because they are virtually identical, you guys. And Delta-9 THC isn't the only chemical hemp products that can be harvested and replicate to create intoxicating products. Popular vitamins variants like Delta-8 and Delta-10 THC, considered less potent but still psychoactive, are legal in larger concentrations. And this article goes on and on and on, and you can read this full thing all on our website at www.highat9news.com. But, shout out to the Florida hemp market, because they are living to sell for another day, and I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about this.
Well, I was just down there, and let me tell you, it's a thing.
Mm-hmm. It's popping, and it's popping.
The market in Florida. I mean, Florida is just an interesting place in general, but the microcosms of Florida, like Miami, wow. Unbelievable. It's like a whole different world. And
Miami is very different than the rest of Florida.
Miami is different. I mean, Miami is really different. But the point is, I guess, is like there's a true free trade and free commerce mentality, and that exists there. And I think that's
no taxes.
Hey, I mean, that's because of all those property taxes those millionaires and billionaires pay. And thank God for that, I guess, because it does give everybody a chance to really put some extra dollars in their pockets where it's needed. And I think that's what, economically speaking, that's kind of where everyone's at. We are getting crushed. We need a little love. We need a little reprieve from those taxes in like a place like California, let's say. And then you have a place like Florida. So at least we can agree on that, Rico, is that Florida is doing something right and California is fucking it up. So it's just one of these evolutionary moments in time where we see how people are doing it. We see them succeeding. We see them thriving. We see an open market that's available. But also, again, I'll say it again, it just distracts from everything that we're trying to do here. We need to unfuck the system. We need to create one pathway for everyone to prosper. It doesn't matter if it's hemp, doesn't matter if it's THC.
Mm-hmm.
It's all the same thing. We all know this. We are just, as savvy entrepreneurs and as innovators, we're going to take every opportunity we can to get the edge.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's great, but I also think that it's disturbing that all these products exist in that market with no regulation, and we have to go through the pains of over-regulation in the cannabis side of things. And it's a kind of a travesty for the people that have made the investment, taken the time to do it in a manner that's been legal with the compliance of these state rules. And then you have other people, other groups and organizations that don't have to, meet that same standard. I think that is ultimately where this gets screwed up for me. We need to standardize, we need to create one system and move forward as a country, as a world, as a movement. That's it.
I'll take it a step further, Saman. I think it's a shame that these products have to exist.
What?
The shame.
I think it's it's a shame that these products have to exist. If weed was legal, we wouldn't have any of these.
I mean, I think weed cares about an open and free market, and weed is going to always make sure that it is part of an open and free market, and this is just the evolution of that.
Yeah, what he's saying though that I agree with Jason is that the Delta 8s, the HHCs were invented as a byproduct of the laws.
Right.
That was a workaround by some pretty smart people that fucked everything up for this industry. I don't want to praise these scientists because I think they are the ones that fucked everything up. I don't want to.
So science is fucking things up. You're telling me.
I want to say that.
What I'm saying is, if weed was legal and people had access to actual quality fucking cannabis heavy, we wouldn't have a need for all of these. We wouldn't have a need for any of these legal battles in the first place. That's what I was saying.
Okay,
no one's going to convince me. No one's going to convince me that synthesizing orange juice is going to be better than a fucking orange that I squeeze into a cup.
Have you ever bought condensed? Have you ever bought condensed orange juice out of a can?
Dude, no, we're not gonna. No, but that's really what this is, right? There is a grape juice from fucking grapes. And there is by concentrated, whatever. Look, guys, I don't have to tell you this. You don't have to be convinced that what comes out of the ground is better than what's made in a lab. But how we are acting now is that, hey, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and disregard the rules and the laws, and I want to jump into a way to do it. Look, I'm not saying that it's not a good opportunity. I'm saying that it's a stupid one to exist in the first place. And we are entrepreneurs and we are pioneers and we are motherfucking American. And guess what? We're gonna get it one way or another.
Yeah, we're gonna find a way.
Enough. Jenny Beth, you have anything you want to add on this story before I go into the final one? Are you shaking? All I do is see you shaking your head.
Can you run through this one quick, Jay?
I'm gonna go through it as fast as I possibly can because we're gonna end on a good story, Rico. Okay, a happy story.
Let's do it.
Maybe it's happy. Maybe we'll see. Because marijuana groups, they send Trump a wish list for upcoming term, including protecting gun rights for cannabis consumers. Shout out to all those 2A supporters out there. 2 leading marijuana reform organizations have sent the incoming Trump administration a memo calling on the president-elect to take a series of steps to enact federal cannabis reforms, including ending prohibition, protecting gun rights for cannabis consumers, promoting banking access for the industry, and expanding clemency to people punished by criminalization. The memo, jointly issued by the Marijuana Policy Project, MPP, and NORML, credits President-elect Donald Trump for endorsing legalization and cannabis banking reform on the campaign trail. And the groups are now providing a roadmap to see those goals through to enactment. At the center of the organization's memo is a request that Trump, in quote, end the federal criminalization of marijuana, allowing states to decide cannabis policy without undue federal interference. During his last term and his last campaign, Trump did express support for that policy, and he also endorsed a Florida adult use legalization measure that was ultimately unsuccessful. Short of ending federal marijuana criminalization, MPP and NORML advised that the Trump administration support the ongoing rescheduling process, issue guidance formalizing a policy of non-interference in state cannabis laws, and support a bipartisan bill that would protect banks from being penalized by federal regulators simply for working with state licensed marijuana businesses. The memo also states that the administration should ensure that people who use marijuana have their Second Amendment rights to buy and possess firearms, pow, 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 and it calls for a policy change to make it so past cannabis use is not a disqualifying factor in federal employment. Additionally, the document says Trump should expand pardons for people with federal marijuana-related offenses and policies barring people who use cannabis from federal housing benefits, and allow Washington, D.C. to implement a system of adult use marijuana sales and remove barriers to research for cannabis, you guys. While the majority of Americans support ending marijuana prohibition, federal policy remains stuck in the past, it says. And in a quote, by removing marijuana from the Controlled Substances Act in a manner similar to alcohol or tobacco, President Trump can reduce federal overreach and increase liberty, the memo says. They should have included Doge in there, because that could have been part of the because it's going to lower the budget and all of that type of stuff. But nonetheless, in a quote, states that wish to continue criminalizing marijuana for adults use or for medical use would be free to do so, but it would no longer be a federal crime to choose to relax with marijuana for state licensed businesses to sell marijuana in accordance with state laws. It also cited a bill from Congressional Cannabis Caucus co-chair, Representative Dave Joyce, Republican from Ohio, who called the States Act 2.0 an example of a starting point for federal reform. The legislation would end federal marijuana prohibition in legal states, legalize interstate cannabis commerce, and normalize IRS to policy for the industry, and contemplate a federal tax and regulate framework for the industry, you guys. In a quote, like alcohol prohibition before it, marijuana prohibition has failed. It has also become quite unpopular, the joint memo from MPP and NORML states. President Trump can lead the nation to sensible national federal policy, which enables states to make their own decisions and allows for sensible lab testing and safety regulations. He can also roll back federal overreach that denies Americans of their gun rights, work, housing, and federal contracts for relaxing with cannabis. And please don't hesitate to reach out to explore these and other policies that the second Trump administration can make to advance liberty and allow states to choose their own marijuana policies, MPP's Karen O'Keefe and NORML's Morgan Fox said in a quote. It's unclear what marijuana policy during Trump's second term will look like, and Trump's first choice to lead the Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, withdrew from consideration last week, and the Florida sheriff had strongly advocated for marijuana decriminalization in the past. For his part, Biden has come under increased pressure to expand his marijuana pardons before the term ends, and the White House said last week there's going to be more to come in the way of clemency actions in the upcoming weeks, without specifying whether that will involve people currently incarcerated over cannabis, you guys. Well, I imagine those pardons and clemency is only going to involve, White House assets such as, Pencil Neck Adam Schiff and, Fauci and a whole bunch of others, Liz Cheney, Rhino, and can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about this.
Oh boy.
Yeah. What do you think about this wish list?
I mean, I think that it's a cool idea.
Mm-hmm.
We shall fucking see. I don't think that it's going to be helpful. I mean, it's cool to say it. I think once again, it's another group that's like, oh, look what we did.
Mm-hmm. 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 That's fair
The federal
point.
government is not Santa Claus. They're not coming down the chimney with a whole bunch of changes and pardons.
Listen, I agree with that. They do protect their own out there. That's for sure.
And I think that this administration is going to be a lot better than the previous, but I don't think that it's going to be for necessarily directly cannabis reasons. I think it's going to be some of these other changes like Operation Choke Point and things like that that are going to be taken out that will indirectly
that will indirectly benefit the cannabis space that are hampering progress. I agree with some of that. I think ultimately cannabis will get descheduled under this administration, but time will tell.
I hope so.
I'm not expecting that.
Optimistic.
Yeah, but just to be clear, I'm not expecting that in the first 100 days, or even, you know what I'm saying, even over the first, even in the first 2 years. I'm not expecting that. I'm not expecting that till towards the end.
There's a lot going on internationally that needs to be dealt with first. Like if you're looking at what's happening in Syria, if you're looking at what's happening like overseas right now, and the things that we need to pull our fucking interest out of and kind of reassess our involvements in, I think there are a lot more crucial issues right now than cannabis. So I don't expect big changes in the first 100 days, but I do expect some at some point.
Sorry, Saman, go ahead. We pull out game strong.
I was gonna say we have some keen insights here. We were with some of the fundraisers for the Trump campaign, and we had a great networking event with some guys that even Jason remembers from the first administration. And look, everybody's hopeful about all the things that are left lingering in the air. So whether or not it's good or bad, we shall see, Jenny, just like you said.
Yeah. And I think we have to also keep in mind, like when we're talking about fundraisers, like, hell yeah. They're like, what's your cause? You need your puppy to have surgery on Tuesday? We got you.
Listen,
we love fundraisers.
It's a lot going on, but there's definitely some movements, but that's all I'll say.
No, I agree.
Lots of
movement.
And
that's totally fine. I mean, like, Jason, how many drafts of federal legislation have hit our inboxes in the past 4 years since we've known each other?
Lots. I mean, and I've sent a lot of them. I've sent a lot of them too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of revisions, a lot of editing, a lot of, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Redlining, all of that good stuff. You know what I mean? But I'm here for it. I'm here for it. It's all in the name of progress. And each day that we're not there, we are a day closer to being.
That's right.
I agree.
All right, fair enough. Look at that. We're ending the show with everyone in agreement today, you guys. Look at that. And thank you all for joining us and getting high at 9 with us every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific and high noon on the East Coast. Big shout out to our audience and supporters for tuning in daily and listening to the insanity that is the developing cannabis industry. Yes, thank you all so much, because we did hit the 5,000 subscriber threshold. So we are encouraging you all to make sure to share with the show with at least one friend and make sure that they subscribe, because then all of a sudden we'll be at 10K subscribers, and then we'll just be on to perpetual greatness. Huge thank you to Catalyst for always helping us keep the lights on over here, and thank you to our correspondents for being absolutely amazing. Thank you to Cannabis Sativa L for giving us a reason to do all this, and thank you to Cloud Media Partners, Adam out there in the virtual wilderness out there, and thank you all for tuning in and getting high at 9 with us. We are America's #1 daily cannabis news show, and we
playing your caroling.
Yeah, and don't forget, I'm in New York, so anybody here, please connect, please tap in with us. I'll be here for 2 weeks.
Yes.
Seeing what the Northeast has to offer and eating all the good pizza. So please tap in. I know we have some friends here. I will be traveling around and visiting some of the stores. But we'd love to see you. We'd love to connect. Thank you.
Most definitely. And we are going to end the show today. We have the Huntington Beach Marching Show Band that's going to play the little Christmas tunes for you guys.